A few guys are in the locker room of a local golf club and somebody's mobile phone goes off and one of them picks up the phone, put it on speaker, and at the other end there's a voice that says, "Darling, is that you?" "Yes, it is." "You wouldn't believe it, I've just come from Lord & Taylor and there's this magnificent leather jacket and it's only $1,000 and I look great in it." "Well, darling, if you like it, I think you should buy it." And on the way, I stopped off at the Mercedes-Benz showroom and they've got the latest 2016 models in, and there's one car that I love, it's in my color, and it's only $70,000. Well, if it's only $70,000, I think it's a steal, go for it. One last thing, darling, and I love you so much. I cannot thank you enough, but you know the house that I always wanted? It's back on the market for $950,000. $950, that could be a little bit much. The guy says, "You know, put in an offer for $900,000 and let's see what happens." "Oh, you're fantastic. I don't know how I'll ever thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you." "You don't need to thank me. Just enjoy." He hangs up the phone and then he lifts it up and he says to the guys there, "Does anyone know whose mobile phone this is?" In this week's Torah reading, we're introduced to the obligation of Birkat HaMazon, of saying grace after meals. The Torah says, "V'achalta v'savata v'erachta." You shall eat and you shall be satisfied, and then you are obligated to thank and to bless God. It's interesting, the rabbis in the Talmud explain that according to Jewish law, only if one is satisfied is one obligated to thank God. If one after eating is still hungry, there is no obligation to thank and to bless him. However, the Jewish people have taken upon themselves the responsibility and the obligation that even after eating they're still hungry, they still will bless and they will still thank God. You know, it's interesting that we are called Jews. We're called Yehudim. Why is it that we are called Jews, Yehudim? Why aren't we called Israelites or Hebrews as we were once known as? And our teachers explain that the word yehudi comes from the Hebrew name Yehudah, which means to offer thanks, which means to show gratitude. You know, we live in a world that we are bombarded constantly with advertisements, and basically the message is, you don't have something, you are lacking something. And if you'd only have the product that we are selling, then you would truly be happy. If we are going to focus constantly on what we don't have, and there is so much that we don't have, then we will have a very, very miserable existence. What we need to do is to focus on what we do have. The Hebrew word for gratitude is hakarat hatov, which translates to mean recognizing goodness. We need to practice to recognize the goodness. We need to thank God for what we already have, not to thank Him for what we hope to receive in the future. This attribute of expressing gratitude is reflected in our name, our identity, and shapes our essential character. For you and I, we are a Yehudi. Thank you.